moving on, we're still talking about waste. So I invite here David Callejo Munoz, CEO and founder of Resilco, which is going to talk about not just waste, industrial waste as a new resource for building circularity. The floor is yours.
Thank you. So, hello to everybody. Thanks for the organizers just to give me the chance to present the Resilco solutions. So I'm David Callejo, CEO and co-founder of Resilco. We were born at the end of 2019 around a problem. So we are very similar to our previous colleague. Since we were not having a very particular technology, but we were looking for solutions for a lot of industrial waste. We are based between Milan and Bergamo, so the most, I would say, interesting material for us were stainless steel producers, facilities, so waste-to-energy plants, and other industrial materials. We were looking for something that was fixing the problem of the waste from the environmental point of view, but also making profit. And we found the CO2. We found the CO2 as a solution. We were not looking to make CO2 storage or removal, but it was a part of the solution. So for us, it's a raw material. The CO2 is something that helps us to treat the waste and to convert it into material. How big the problem is? So we are talking about a quite large problem since there are several billions of euros spending on disposal costs for our industries. We have several billions on new construction materials, and then there is involved the CO2 market as well. So we are talking on a quite big market generating a lot of problems, economical and environmental problems in Europe, but not only. So we are quite ambitious. We are working in Italy, but we are expanding to Europe, and the idea is to arrive to more than 2.3 or 3 million tons of CO2 storage per year. What we offer is a solution. So we found that we have to generate a new supply chain. So as for everybody working in a circular economy, you have to create your own markets. It is difficult to introduce a new material. So we are at the end of the life of the waste from these industries. We are at the beginning of the other industries. So we transform the waste into a raw material. So you have to be in a place where nobody was before. And this is an opportunity, but this is also a difficulty. And also about the permitting and all of the regulations, this is quite tough. We work with the stainless steel industry. We work with waste to energy plants. We work with ceramic industry. We work with cement industry. We took in the past all of the waste and we treat it and we test it with the final users that they are building sector, road sector. So everywhere where you need calcium carbonate or derivatives, we can apply. What we do is quite simple. So what we used to do, what it happens in nature, but it takes hundreds of millions or thousands of years. So we carbonate the molecules that get carbonated in nature, but we do it in seconds. And we do it quite efficiently since we use mechanical forces. So we don't use any other high pressure or high temperature. So we are quite fast and quite efficient on making this carbonation. The carbonation has different values. One is store the CO2 because we can store permanently the CO2 inside the material. But also we are encapsulating the hazardous problem. So most of those materials are hazardous waste because they have heavy metals or they have molecules or elements that they are that can harm the environment and the human. So what we do with the carbonates is we interpolate all of this material in a shell, and this shell is stable at least at the limit of 800 degrees. So we can pass all of the environmental controls and the material is safe to be used in the construction. Quite simple. So we mix with water, we mix with CO2, we use our patented reactor, and in question of a few minutes, we have a sludge contain the new material. We separate the water and the solid. The solid is going to concrete manufacturers or stone manufacturers or any road manufacturer, for example. and the water gets fully recovered because we use a lot of water. So the part of the 3 years development was spent on invest in how to recover the water to be more sustainable. So quite young company, but with more than 5 patents, Italian and international. The material has been tested with the final users, universities, and has been validated. As I said at the very beginning, environmental problems have to find a solution that is economically interesting for the company. So the return of investment typically for our plants is below 5 years. So it makes it interesting also for our customers. We are not alone. We have companies in UK, we have companies in Switzerland making carbonation, but we are the only ones working at room temperature, room pressure. We don't use any other chemistry but the CO2. And we can use the very same reactor for a large variety of materials. So this makes you more comfortable with the market. We recover the water, and then we generate high quality carbon credits. So basically, you can also have some revenues from that. So this is the supply chain we are creating for our customers. So we take the waste. We have partners just delivering the CO2 from directed capture, from biogenic sources, and then we sell the material at the end. And we take care of everything for our customers. So we sell the plant, but we also manage the plant for them, because most of our customers are not familiar with material construction. So they are asking for a solution which is turnkey. So this is what we do. And then creating the supply chain, we govern the final market for our products, so we can go to maximize the value. Typically, we choose customers that they are geographically close to the waste generator, so we don't have the impact of the transport, but also we are looking for the highest value we can obtain for them. So certain materials can be sold as a cement substitution, and this is the highest value we can have. Some others, like a pozzolanic. So we try to find and to match the perfect material with the perfect value. We are down, not me, the team that works with me, but we are already working with 100% of the waste to energy plants in Italy. So from A2A, which is actually one of our partners and is a shareholder of the company, but we work also with more than 60% of the stainless steel manufacturers in Italy. We validate the material again with the final users, making concrete, making all of the different derivatives for the road industry or for the building industry. Where we are now, we are validating the environmental permitting of the material and the environmental permitting of our plant. So we have a small laboratory plant capable to do 500 tons per year, close to Milan. It's just 10 kilometers far from here. And we are now making the permitting for the first small industrial scale plant up to 5,000 tons per year. Again, it's 5 kilometers far away, and it will be operational by the end of the year. The materials that we generate are quite different depending on the raw material. So this is the kind of material coming from the steel slags. This is quite similar to cement, has a very similar properties, and is storing around 12-15% in weight of CO2. This is the material coming from waste to energy plants. So this is basically the incinerators, and this is a nice pozzolanic, so material you can just have some good properties mixing with the cement. And this is typical material coming from fumes, dust coming from fumes abatement from the ceramic industry. So we are talking people making ceramic parts. We take the filters from the chimneys, and the dust which is coming is just generating this kind of material. All of the materials you have seen, the granulometry is quite small, which is adding a lot of value, because our process is not only introducing the CO2 and generating carbonate, but it's also milling the material. So typically our material is a very fine filler, and the values in the market are quite high, because the alternative is to take natural material and mill it. So you have a lot of cost and a lot of energy just dedicated. Just a very fast overview. So we are growing quite fast. We will be more than 15 people at the end of this year. We were lucky to find right partners and investors as well as collaborators. This is our past and future. So we close a round investment in February with 360 Life 2 fund, which is the anchor investor is A2A. And now we are going to certify the material and install the first industrial plan before the next internalization plan at the end of 2027. Thanks.